Hey, this is Johnny and we're in Bears and Games, and today we're looking at Heavy Rain, which I got suggested for one character who we'll look at in a minute. This game is sort of the successor to Indigo Prophecy by Quantic Dream and director David Cage, and it's sort of an interactive movie slash adventure game. Scott Shelby is a private detective who is slightly bearish because he's sort of chunky and wears a trench coat, and as you can see from this footage of Heavy Rain, he's helping a blonde girl discover elements of her mysterious past and piece together why she has to go back to Silent Hill. Okay, no. Heavy Rain actually follows 4 people, and Scott's just one of the 4. And you'll know that it's an adventure game because it has crime scene tape and ambulances, which every adventure game ever must contain unless it's set in the magical land of Daventry. Now, we're going to go... I'm not going to spoil anything, I promise, because we're going to take a look at something so early in the game, the introduction of the Scott Shelby character, who is right here. And look at that freaking textures, that's pretty amazing. The game controls with what people call tank control, but it isn't really. It's still camera, context, relative controls, and it's not so... you just have to press R2 to move forward. Some people have problems with that, but you sort of get used to it. And everything's presented really cinematically.
Lauren Winter?
Sorry, I only see clients by appointment.
And it's an adult game. It's not a game made for kids. It's not goofy. Well, okay, it is kind of goofy.
It's $50.
One great thing about this scene is it features 2 of the best actors in the game. The guy who plays Scott Shelby, who looks exactly like the character model, and this girl who also looks exactly like her character model are really great actors. Even if they both have kind of accent problems, if you just think of her as a French prostitute, it's a really cool scene. And the body language between them is great, and all the moments between these 2 characters make up some of the most believable scenes in the game.
I came here just to ask you some questions.
He's investigating the serial killer who has been killing children for the past few years. And he's got an unfortunate case of asthma, as you can see. Every character has a fatal flaw in this game, and his is his asthma. So you gotta go through. What are you gonna do? Where's your inhaler? Oh, maybe it's in that pocket. Oh, there you go. And all the actions aren't just button presses like God of War or Shenmue or Dragon's Lair, because there's more to it than that. You know, sometimes you have to hold them, sometimes you have to twist things in certain ways. You might have heard bad things about this game from this scene, where you're looking for your son. This is the worst scene in the game. Actually, pretty much anything involving him and his kids are some of the worst scenes in the game, but this one...
Jason, you really should.
You're falling around this idiotic kid.
A lot of people in here.
Please, Dad, can I have one?
With a terrible English accent. All the actors were in France because they wanted to get the voice and the motion capture to match, and this was a terrible mistake because the kid can't speak English, at least not with any degree of skill, and it really takes you out of the game. I recommend, if you speak French, to play it in French. So yeah, that's the first act, which sucks, and everyone's like, you know, oh, don't play this game because it's got that Jason scene and it's stupid, in that sort of internet groupthink mentality. But once you get past it, this game's got some really moody moments. When people aren't speaking crappy English, it's really moving. The music is fantastic. The graphics are, in most part, some of the best you'll ever see. And don't call me I don't know what the PS3 equivalent of an Xbox is, but you can really get into this game. And this game has some of the most emotional moments that you'll ever experience so far in gaming, because you really feel involved. I mean, the big thing about this game is any of those 4 people can die. If you screw things up, they will get injured. And if you keep screwing things up, they will die. And them being injured doesn't just go away when you leave the scene. They continue to be injured for the rest of the game. And that's really cool. And I love that it's got all these little moments that, might seem annoying to some gamers who just want to shoot people, but I love the immersion of doing everything. You're pressing the accelerator, you're putting on your seatbelt, you're doing all these little details. You're sitting next to your kid and watching TV with him. And even if the kid's a terrible actor, this moment still has a degree of emotional impact just due to what happened up until that point. And you want to be a good dad, or you can be a crappy dad. Then there's this guy, Jaden, who is an FBI agent who's apparently addicted to Jet. Or, well, I don't know what the drug is. And that's his flaw. He kind of reminds me of Mulder with a slight French accent. And here's one of the Hey.
Lauren,
Oh,
is everything all
yeah.
right?
Oh, aw, crap. This isn't going to go so well. Here's an early action scene in the game, and this is why the game gets incredible. These are the best parts of the game. Because you can get injured. You can get killed. If you don't do this right, bad stuff will happen. And what I like is it's not a on-off thing. If you screw up once, it doesn't end the game. You can screw up plenty of times, as I do. There are a couple of moments where you might want to restart, but like David Cage encourages you to play through this once and go with what happens. I mean, I don't know how this looks if you haven't played this game, but to me, like, I still feel the gut-wrenchingness of this moment, because you're trying to get everything right. Even playing through this a second time, I was really surprised. You get into these action scenes and you don't want to screw them up, because there is a fail state to this game, and there is a way to permanently screw up the storyline. You are much more engaged in it than any other game. The problem with this game, though, is it's pretty much the Bone Collector in terms of plot, and that was a crappy movie.
My name is Douglas Carter. I'm a detective.
My name is Scott Shelby. I'm a private detective.